Hey y'all, God bless you. Welcome to another night. Let's talk real talk. And I'm here tonight with you all, coming live, and I'm actually doing two different broadcasts at the same time. So we're doing one for our Facebook Live audience as well as one for Christian TV. But I wanted to come on tonight and really get down and get into this thing where we get a chance to really dive into this thing, and I sent something that I knew was going to be quite controversial, and so what I wanted to do was bring you all on this thing, and let's get into this. I'm not going to be long tonight, I promise, but I wanted to deal with this. On today, I got a chance to minister a word there at New Destiny Ministries in Biloxi, and we dealt with things of the heart, matters of the heart, and I went into an area that dealt with, and I'm hoping whoever this is for, y'all know Sunday night's a little bit different than Wednesdays, but tonight I wanted to get into this because as we get into our Wednesday conversation, it's going to be dealing with a lot of this childhood trauma. But I wanted to really get into this thing on tonight as I deal with this matters of the heart, and I entitled it, childhood traumas equal adult manifestations. I don't care how you try to get around it. Stuff that we dealt with as children, stuff that we heard, things choices that we made, and choices that were made for us. As crazy as this sounds, choices that were made for us by our parents, guardians, people that we saw, people that we knew, and all of this stuff impacts you as an adult, impacts me as an adult. Now tonight I'm gonna get very deep into this thing, and again, I'm not gonna be long, but I've got to deal with some of the real issues, because there are a lot of childhood stuff that we dealt with, y'all, that we now manifest in our adult lives. And I don't care how you try to get around. I don't care how strong you think you are, but there were some things that took place with you. Some stuff you don't even know anything about. Do y'all not, and I'm just going to go on cut into this thing and cut real deep. Do you not know that there are homosexual men and women that did not choose to be that way at first? I know I messed you up with that one. Note what I just said. They did not choose to be that way first. After a while, it became a lifestyle. And it was because somewhere down the line, somebody introduced them, showed them an area that as children, our minds are underdeveloped. See, y'all, okay, I want y'all to grab this. Children's minds are underdeveloped. I don't care how mature that child may act. Please understand that a child is a child. Now, you can say what you will and want to say what you want to say with it and all the rest of that stuff, but I'm sitting here telling you that their minds are, watch this, underdeveloped. And so when you introduce them to certain things that their mind is not ready to deal with, y'all, man, just hear me. You can have, and I'm just saying, kids that have large bills. I'll say it like that. There it is. They don't have the body of a child, but please understand they still have a mind of a child. And when you deal with that, we've got to deal with the real issues of this. You need to understand that is a child. So when you introduce this child to these things that the child is not, they don't have the life skills to have dealt with it. Oh, I'm saying some stuff. Y'all better hear me now. They don't have the life skills to have been dealing with that. And y'all, what happens is you end up impacting that child's life in such a negative way. But I'm telling you, it's going to manifest itself in the child when they become an adult. Some of us are the way we are because of some stuff that happened to us in our childhood, and it was a lack thereof. I'm going to go on and say it again, and I'm going to keep on saying it. Y'all, please hear me when I say this, that if I was on here butt naked and throwing it all the way around, I get 1 million views. These kind of conversations, churches don't want to talk about this stuff. I keep telling y'all, they don't want to have this kind of talk because there is a void there that pastor has got to deal with, and everyone cannot counsel people, especially if it's an area that you have not been in yourself. How can you tell somebody about being on crack cocaine and coming off of it and being delivered from it if you never had crack in your system and been delivered from it? So it's kind of hard to have that conversation. So the same thing that when we start talking about these childhood traumas equal adult manifestations, it's the same stuff. We introduce these children to these things, and what happens is, y'all, when they become adults, they cannot help it. Wow. Okay, you get mad at me all you want to, but this is the truth. I told you. People that are making decisions as grown folk, I'm telling you, a whole lot of it was based on what we were exposed to as children. Period. Oh, okay, I'm going to go ahead on and talk to someone that kind of feels, and this was one of the parts, and when I'm actually today, when I was dealing with that, I was dealing with David and how David was overlooked by his whole family and even by the prophet. He was overlooked by Samuel because they were looking for something else and not knowing that the true king, the heart of God, God's heartbeat was in this little boy out there in the field. Watch this. I said all that to say this right here. Because a lot of us don't think that we're enough. Oh, wow. It's sad to say some of us look in mirrors and don't like what we see. How do I know? I was one of them. Note I say it was. Took me some time to love myself. It took me some time to go beyond all of that and say, hold on, man. Somebody loves you. Somebody appreciates you just the way you look. Y'all hear me. I'm saying all this to say this, man, because when I grew up, y'all, when I was growing up, and I'm talking when I'm growing up back there in Greenwood, man, we used to talk about each other, and they used to say stuff about me, and man, for a long time, y'all hear me, I looked the way I looked because I trained myself not to even smile because I didn't like the way I looked. Y'all better be with me. I need y'all to hang out with me. I know y'all ain't ready for this kind of conversation because see, this is real talk here. I didn't like the way I looked. So I did not smile. I didn't take a lot of pictures and stuff like that coming up. I really didn't. I really did not take a lot of pictures. My uncle, who was a photographer, he's a professional, he took a lot of shots. But y'all, I didn't want to be on pictures. Hear me, man. This is all facts. Because I didn't like the way I looked. Somebody watching me now and somebody that will be watching feels the same way. And I'm talking to you. Because what ended up happening was that childhood stuff that I went through, the community stuff that I went through, and not having enough support at home to tell me that you're okay, you look all right. That stuff manifested itself into my adult life. This is. See, and Sheila, I'm talking to you. Listen to me, y'all. Please listen to me. Baby, and I said this today in my message, every blemish, every scar, every stretch mark, every curve, all of that stuff, God knows because he placed it there. The originator, there is nobody else like you. But yet and still we allow social media, we allow TV, and all the rest of this stuff to dictate who we are. And what we do is we start comparing ourselves to that in which we see on TV. Not knowing that the very people that you looking up to, thinking that they got it all together, have major issues going on in their lives. Go to counseling 2-3 times a week for stuff. Suicidal stuff you don't even know about. Yet and still we're concerned about all of this stuff because we don't think that we are enough. to some pastor, some minister out there that's going to be listening to this, listen to me, man. You are all right. Stop trying to compare yourself to these other folk on TV and these other pastors down the street that everybody want to run up behind, because that ain't your call. And you need to understand that. I'm talking to somebody. Hear me. This is real talk that the part of the churches don't want to talk about, because this is the heart of the matter. This is dealing with your heart, man. You running around here comparing yourself to something and to someone, y'all, that don't hold. Y'all hear me, man. There is not another person. Even if you are a twin, even your identical twin does not measure up to you, because you are an original. I had to learn this. Man, I had to learn to love myself for every gift and ability that God has blessed me with, and talent that he put in my life. It's there for somebody else. It ain't just there just for you. Y'all hear me, man. And so what happens is, man, we end up comparing ourselves to other folk because of stuff that happened in our childhood. So you were traumatized. Had an old nasty uncle, big brother, whatever, that did some things. And it's impacting your adulthood. And it makes you a certain kind of way. And see, that's the part of it, again, that don't nobody want to talk about. And we don't even want to go to counseling for it. When truth of the matter is, man, there was something wrong and you never got help for it. I never got help for it. So now we end up being grown, and these same little things keep coming back and knocking on your door at 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning. And you're thinking that you really are okay. But y'all, this stuff manifests itself. It sells in our relationships, man, in our dealings, y'all, jobs, all of this stuff. Because it was shaped in our childhood. And you don't want to call it a trauma, but that's trauma. That's trauma for a 9-year-old to be molested by somebody. That's trauma for a 9-year-old to be told you ain't going to be nothing and you ugly. And that's trauma. Now, I don't care how you try to sit up here and try to fix it up and try to make it seem like it's not, but it is. And that's the real life story that we have to deal with. And what it does is this stuff manifests itself in our adult lives, in our dealings with people, and how we handle stuff, handle situations, handle all of this stuff. I'm sitting here telling you that it has manifested itself in you and in me as an adult. I've got a guest, and she's going to be on with me Wednesday, and Sherman is going to be here, and she's going to talk about her book that she's written. But there's something behind the book, and you know, when you look at it, you're like, whoa, what is this got to do with anything? But when she talk about what she dealt with, the molestation as a child, how it shaped her. And she's going to get into it, because I'm going to read the title and how it deals with that. And we're going to talk about that. But it's real talk. Church folk don't want to deal with that. See, church is scared of that. But I'm telling you, that's how y'all, man, hear me. People are walking around here unhealed, not dealing with these real issues in our lives. And then we become grown folk. And guess what we do? We have little children, and we pass them right on to our little people. And our little people end up, see, you want to talk about a generational curse. See, that's where it comes from. Is it a curse, though? Or is it unresolved trauma that was not dealt with, and we refuse, there it is, to deal with it? So now it becomes a curse, because it is a curse, because rather than us dealing with it, getting delivered from it, talking to somebody, it ain't just about going to church and getting prayed for, man. Sometimes you need to talk to some folk, and sometimes you might have to get medication for it. Ooh, don't supposed to say that, do it. Yeah, depression is real. We've got people out here dealing with depression all day, every day, and don't nobody want to have that conversation, because not in church. We're not supposed to feel that way. PTSD, what it? No, not us. Not church people. Yes. Yes. We all are the biggest hypocrites. I'm one, you one too. Because we be lying to ourselves that like we're okay. When truth of the matter is we're not okay. Truth of the matter is we need to sit down and talk to somebody else too, other than pastor. Pastor ain't got no degree in clinical psychology. He don't know what you're talking about, man. He's just going to base it off of his experience and his experience with God, y'all. But I'm telling you, these things are deeper than spirits. Yep. It's deeper than that. A spirit is attached to it, but it's deeper than spiritual. You've got to go, y'all, into a place, man, you got to go into gray areas that don't nobody want to talk about. You've got to go into gray areas. Y'all, there's white, there's black, and then there is gray. And it's the gray area that we really don't really want to touch all that much because I'm exposing myself. But y'all, I'm going to tell you something, man. Sometimes that's the best remedy for it all. You need to be able to talk to somebody else that you can trust with that same information, as bad as that information is that you think. Here you are crying your heart out to somebody that has a degree. Here you are crying your heart and mind out to all of these, to this person, not knowing they dealt with the same thing. You are ashamed to go sit and let somebody know that you struggle in an area. Y'all, that's part of the covering, man. That's part of the talking. Somebody can intercede on the spiritual side for you. Go to God and say, Lord, help him, bless him, and I'm here for you. And then there's that side where you're going to need some natural help for somebody to say, oh yeah. Because sometimes it's all right to talk about it and not be. Let me say this, and let me go and put a pin in it. Don't be judgmental of people when they come to you, and they just need a listening ear. Don't be judgmental. Don't be judgmental. You'd be surprised how many folk really want to open up their hearts to other people, but they can't. You know why? Because we talk about them. Oh God, we talk about these folk. We talk about these folk before they even get out of the house good. Already texting somebody. Before the conversation is over, we're already talking. We've already passed judgment. And they came to you naked. Y'all hear me, man. I'm saying something deep here. A lot of stuff that adults are dealing with, childhood trauma. And it's because of something that they heard, something that they saw, and now they grown. And the bad part is, now we got little people that we call children, our children, and we have passed that same thing right on to them. This is huge. We have passed that same thing right on to them. Not knowing the impact. Not only now do you have to get free, now your baby got to get free. We got men that are doing everything and saying stuff in front of their little boys and showing them, and women are doing any and everything in front of the kids. And what they see, y'all, is going to manifest itself in their adulthood. You done grew up, and for you, here you are grown and gone and thinking you okay, and you ain't thought about it no more, not realizing that the only thing you've done is pass it down to that child. Listen, man, I'm gonna get ready to close this out, because I really wanted to come on here tonight and just deal with it. Just say a little small, just say a little bit, just enough. We as adults have got to sometimes reach back into our childhood and deal with this time of the year, especially holidays, which can be difficult for some, for many. For me, it was difficult because You know, what I do is I lose myself in trying to decorate the house, trying to, do stuff around the house, and I be wanting the girls to. I mean, I just do something because my mind goes back to my childhood. And it's okay, y'all, that we didn't have everything coming up. You don't have to give your kids everything that you did not have. But what you do give them is the spirit of this season, which is love, kindness, giving. The spirit of this season. This is the one time of the year where everything seems so different. And it is so different. And it's the only time of the year that it feels like this. And there's a certain spirit that comes with certain holidays. This is that. Reach back into your yesterday. Remember the good times and the great times. Bring that to your adulthood now. But not just at Christmas. I'm learning to do this every day. Every day ain't going to be roses. I get it. Every day ain't going to be where you're able to do all of those things. I get it. But reach back, y'all, because the childhood traumas that we experience, now they've manifested themselves as we being adults. You're going to have to reach back, and you might have to pick up. I heard somebody say, don't go back in my past. I ain't going back there. Ain't nothing back there. Sometimes, I don't know who this is for. You have to go back. Pick that thing up. Find out why you're hurting in this area. Forgive. Forgive whoever did it. Forgive whoever said it. Here's a big one. And then forgive yourself. Forgive you, man. There are a lot of stuff, y'all, that you cannot control, that was completely out of your control as a child. You had nothing to do with it. But here's the thing right here. You have an opportunity now as an adult to have these things that manifest themselves differently from this day on. Stop looking at yourself as the one who ain't got it. Stop looking at yourself as the one who is less than. You're not. You're better than that. You're God's chosen. He loves you. Crazy part is, what you don't know is somebody else out there. Patti LaBelle said, somebody loves you, baby. You need to understand that somebody else loves you. Live for you. Live for them. Live your life to the fullest, to the max that you can. Enjoy yourself. I'm learning to smile more. I don't care what you think about me. I don't care if I'm ugly to you. It don't matter. I'm learning to smile more. Y'all, it's hard. It's hard because all my life I zoned everything out. And I ended up with these, like my wife, mean eyes. It was nothing that I did like my mama. And so, you know, a lot of stuff that the way she was, her personality, that stuff is really, really manifesting itself in me. And I'm like, wow. She was just no nonsense. I find myself just no nonsense. Just straight down home plate. Problem with it is this, though. It can also impact other people and affect others. So the love that I didn't get as a child, that I wanted, that I needed, I've got to try something different now with my family to try to be better. It impacts them. Y'all better hear me, man. I'm being as transparent as I can be to try to help somebody. I may not tonight. I ain't got what they folk on. That's what the thing's saying. So whoever it is that I may be talking to, all I'm telling you is this. For somebody, love you. Love you. Reach back, man. Pull all that stuff up to the forefront. All the baggage is gone on, pull it on out. It's like a closet or something, a room where you got a bunch of stuff. See, the crazy part is you got stuff packed away. You got this stuff packed away in the closet. You ain't never went in and unpacked it. I found out there was a lot of stuff about me that I'm learning. I'm like, oh, wow, my God. I still got this stuff here that I think about. Oh, man, that's messed up. And it's my fault. So I'm encouraging somebody, go back. Go in that room, pull all this stuff out, and throw it away. Look at it. Reminisce about it. Forgive them. Then forgive yourself. Don't just go on. Grow on. Is it going to be a struggle? Yes. I'm telling you, that childhood trauma stuff, it impacted you. Every decision that you made, you may not even understand that you make. It reaches all the way back to childhood. And we have to grow from that. We have to grow from it. The hard part is, it's a life thing. It's a life thing. But I want you to enjoy this ride. Because your children deserve that. Your children's children. The people around you that love you. Your family deserves that. Yeah, Uncle Ray, the one that molested you, probably still going to come around. Did you ever tell anybody? Unresolved. Because you didn't want to hurt anybody. We're going to deal with that Wednesday night, I'm telling you. And it's going to be deep. Sharman's book is really powerful. And so the name of it is Depths of Temptation. And we're going to deal with that Wednesday night. And she's going to be on here with me. And she's going to talk about it. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough conversation. But we all have to come to that conclusion. The stuff that she dealt with brought her to a point where it manifested itself physically, sexually. So with that being said, listen, I wanted to just tell y'all that I love you. I told y'all I wasn't going to be on here long tonight. I meant that. Stay encouraged. Admit your issue. Admit your problem. Admit what is going on with you. Because it is what's going on. Facebook Live, y'all hold on one second. Let me close this out on Christian television. To my brothers and sisters, Kingdom Purpose TV, thank you so much for tuning in. You can be right back with me on next Wednesday night at 7 o'clock p.m. on Kingdom Purpose TV. Until next time, be blessed. Thank you.